So recently a thought hit me. It's a simple thought, but I mean, it was groundbreaking for me at the time. Like, this was last week, so I was thinking, I am my own best friend. When I go to the bathroom and I look in the mirror, who is it that's staring back at me? It's myself. Now, this is a very simple thing to visualize, and we all do this every single day. But why is it that a lot of us has so many problems? Stress, anxiety, depression, frustrated, like on drugs and entertainment. We need things to keep us entertained, and we have bad habits, and all of these things every single day. It's like we're constantly fighting something, someone. For some of us, like, we blame it on life and say life isn't fair, and the situation, my environment, I don't have a chance, and privileged people who have healthier lives and are happier. Why? Why though? If when I look at myself in the mirror, it's just me. I mean, with everything, if you and your relationship with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your wife, your husband, or whatever, loving each other and doing things at work because it's work, you're working hard on the job, doing things to make other people happy. That's all nice, but if you can't actually make yourself happy every single day, do things for you, you're neglecting yourself. You're neglecting the person you see in the mirror. I think that that's creating a lot of problems that we have as humans every single day in this society. It's like the quality of life is going downhill. You know, it's like we're forgetting that simple thing, we are our greatest friend. With that in mind, there's something cool that I think is possible. A couple things happen. The biggest thing to me is once I'm aware of that, I continue to build up my own voice, to build up my friend, which is myself, who I have to live with the rest of my life. I begin to put in more time and energy into just becoming, not only becoming the person who I want to be, but also to strengthening that voice inside and becoming one with that voice and being able to see myself in a healthy way. Example, while we can depend on other people for validation, for critique, for feedback, for positive, negative stuff, a lot of times that's placing the emphasis on the outside. But what happens when our own voice is able to give us motivation every single day? You know, if we're living with ourselves every single day, if we have to see ourselves in the mirror every single day, what are we saying to ourselves? If we don't have a healthy relationships with ourselves, how can we say positive stuff? I think in order to do that, we have to start giving ourselves the material to work up to that. You know what I mean? Start feeding ourselves. We're putting ourselves on a healthy diet. You know, spirituality, new and better thoughts, like more sustainable ideas. I mean, just everything. The more mindful life. Like, I think seeking to do that as a start helps us kind of create this like healthier voice. I feel like a lot of us are living with ourselves, but our voice is who is our friend. Like, we're not really talking to somebody who is the best person who we should be talking to, but it's someone who we're stuck with for the rest of our lives. We're stuck with ourselves. So why not seek to become best friends with yourself more and to have a healthy relationship? So that way, in the times that, you know, you're having like a hard day or, you know, a hard situation in life and you have no one to turn to, when you turn to yourself, you get the energy and, you know, the motivation that you need to get through that difficult situation. You're gonna be having a bad day at work or a hard day at work. You may be faced with just challenges every single day, but it's a little different for me facing those challenges when I have, I guess, like a good relationship with myself, a healthy relationship with myself. Because when I need somebody to tell me, you know, you can do it, and let's say I have a bad relationship with myself, myself is just putting myself down, it's a lot more difficult, and it's like torture. It's hard to live happy every single day. But when I have a healthy relationship with myself, the person who I'm looking at in the mirror. Some days, I just tell myself like, hey, you win some, you lose some, you live to see another day, like there's plenty of wars left to fight and to win, and all of these things, like, I mean, it's different for everyone. Well, the point of what I'm saying is realizing that, a lot of times we neglect our relationships with, first of all, ourselves. I believe definitely having a healthy relationship with oneself is also too, like, really related to having a healthy relationship with God. There's plenty to be unpacked with that, but I think that just focusing on building up ourselves, right? Building up your friend who you're looking at in the mirror. That's your friend. It doesn't have to be our enemy every single day. The worst thing that could happen in life for me isn't that, like, let's say I end up homeless or something like that. The worst thing that could happen is to just lose this relationship with myself, this healthy relationship. Like, I don't have to always be fighting with myself, an enemy to myself. Having a healthy relationship with the person you're looking at in the mirror is worth the energy always. So if you could put in work for somebody else, if it's like your lover or whoever, or your workplace or your family, you owe it to yourself to be able to put in that positive energy, that positive work that it takes to build up that relationship with yourself, with the person that you're seeing in the mirror. Because long-term wise, there's nobody who's going to be there with you more than you are with yourself, So, like, people could say whatever about you. What matters, number one, is what do you have to say about yourself. I think a lot of times we know what God has to say about us, and we know, like, the love aspect and stuff like that, but we forget about what we have to say about ourselves every time we look at ourselves in the mirror. Whatever we have to say at ourselves at that point, let's say when we're in the bathroom, in the morning, at night, that person we're seeing in the mirror, we're living with that person 24/7, 7 days a week. So the person is an ally, and to me it's amazing the things that we could actually accomplish when we are in union. Like, it saves us half of the time than if we're just always fighting with ourselves every day, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Just take the time to build up that person that you see in the mirror, and then in your times of need, the times when you're having just, like, life is difficult, having that healthy relationship with yourself. I mean, life isn't perfect. You're always going to experience difficult times, but definitely being harmonious and in union, like, those are the times where all the energy that you put in, all the positive energy into building up that person you see in the mirror, they're going to come back and help you to get through it, And of course, God is always here too, God within us, but just doing our parts and making more of an effort to bridge this gap that we have with ourselves plenty of times. They don't talk about this stuff on social media. The celebrities don't talk about this stuff. The government doesn't talk about this stuff. In plenty of ways, they just keep us in a loop, depending on outside sources for us to kind of get through the day. I don't think that's natural. We have everything that we need right here. God has given us every single thing that we need right here.